Hi, I'm Jill with Plant Life Journey, and I want to talk to you about a phrase that Kathy and I strongly dislike. It's everything in moderation. Maybe you love it, maybe you don't. I think it's a sham. Kathy wanted to call this talk the freedom paradox, which is good because you think you have more freedom when you have all the choices and you just call it out. Oh, I can eat anything. And maybe you're the kind of person who can just eat one potato chip or one bite of ice cream or one piece of candy or whatever. But and Kathy might have her own reasons for not liking it, but I have certainly my own experience for really not liking that phrase, everything in moderation, because I wasn't one of those persons who could have done that. Just a bite of this and a bite of that and a da 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 and just like walk away. And I do know there are people out there like that. And more power to you if you can. But when we hear the phrase everything in moderation, it just stirs up a lot of ooh for both of us. Um, for Kathy, it's like, well, what's the metric? For one thing, it's just too vague. It doesn't really mean anything. And for me, it has to do with my past and being like a binge eater and knowing that I couldn't just stop eating. If you know the phrase, one bite is too much and all in the world is not enough, if that resonates with you, then you kind of know from where I come, okay? Yeah, one is too much and all in the world is not enough. That's how it was for me with whatever. Like, I would go into a spiral. I was physically sick, I was mentally sick, and I was spiritually sick because of the food I was eating. And the crazy thing was, when I made this crazy decision in 1998, people, 1998, to stop eating animals, I limited my choices. And guess what? That helped me. That helped me. It helped me so much. It was one of the critical things that helped me was limiting my choices. And I'm realizing that again now as I am aiming to limit my choices again within the plant world. So let me explain just really quick. I've been very comfortable in the plant-based world for many, many years. But at first in 1998, when I was like, okay, I'm used to meat as the center of the plate. That's what I grew up on. Now I'm not going to do turkey, chicken, blah, blah, all the other stuff. I had to learn different recipes. I had to learn. I cooked millet. I cooked amaranth. I went into spices. I was looking at recipes and getting cookbooks and doing all the things. And it was challenging and scary. And now, present day, I am looking to be high raw, and I am intentionally moving in a direction where I'm consciously wanting to limit myself from cooked foods. Like, whoa. But anyway, and you might think that's crazy, but I'm still going to eat cooked foods right now, but I do feel like a calling to eat way more high raw, like high raw. So that's like another topic. But the everything in moderation situation, when I was first reading about all this, Dr. Dean Ornish, he did an amazing study. The science really, he was explaining in his book that I read that, when they would try to take a smoker and get a cigarette smoker to go down to like 2 cigarettes a day versus cutting it off cold turkey, well, who do you think had more success? The people who cut it off cold turkey or the people who went to two? Well, they would creep back up. And that's just life. I mean, that happens for a lot of people. That's what the science says. That's human behavior. Like, you're playing with fire. If you're gonna think you can, I mean, maybe not everyone. Again, this might not be you, but for me, and I'm not saying cooked food's fire, by the way, but oh, you do need some fire to make it. But anyway, I just know that for me, limiting my choices helped back then. And so I'm assuming that at this time of my life, when I'm wanting to do this again, and we'll see what happens, I think it will help. Okay. But the everything in moderation, another thing that I'd heard early on from Dr. McDougall was like, do you want to take heroin in moderation? Like, okay, no, that doesn't make any sense. So there are some things you don't want to consume in moderation. There are some things you ideally just don't want to do at all. If it's not serving your body temple, honestly, ugh, you just might want to rethink it. And it's hard because I mean, I'm with you. It's hard. Like I'm not saying I'm not going to do the things, whatever. There are no vegan police, okay? And there are no like vegetarian police, and there are no like raw police out there. You can experiment with what you do with your life and not be concerned about what other people think, because that has been one of my biggest fears and my biggest challenges is getting over what other people think. Okay, but that's another video. Okay, I posed this question to AI. I said, I'm putting on my glasses. Is there a philosophy about limiting one's choices that actually provides more of a sense of freedom? Oh my gosh, do you know what AI said? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, there's several philosophical and psychological traditions that tell you that enforcing constraints can paradoxically create more freedom, not less. And listen to this. Having endless options can feel like less freedom because you're constantly second guessing, comparing, and feeling like you're missing out. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Voluntarily limiting your choices actually liberates mental energy and reduces regret. Now, I lived with remorse and regret for so many years. I don't do that anymore. Thank goodness. Crazy time in my life when remorse and regret were like my two constant companions. I hated it. That was a terrible thing to live through. Not cool, not cool. But anyway, when you have this self-determination, and I would say here more at this point, interjecting that when you ask your angel team to help you, because I need my angel team or my like higher power, whatever you want to define that inside of you, that quiet voice that is in your best interest. You know that voice. It's in your best interest. That's the one you want to listen to and drown out the other voice that says, "Oh yeah, you can eat just one of those things. You deserve it. You've had a good day. You can reward yourself now." Whatever, all the things, all the lies that little voice tells you, you can learn to discern. Is that my angel team, or is that like maybe like the ego team? I call it like the ego team because, or whatever. Or maybe there's a little devil in all of us. I don't know, just saying. But a friend of mine says, my ego is not my amigo. This is true. This is a good saying. My ego is not my amigo. I can tell you that. Okay. Anyway, my yoga teacher, Matt Nash, they used to say that discipline equals freedom. And so I'm still learning on being more disciplined and realizing that being more disciplined actually does create more freedom for myself. I wasn't raised with as much discipline as some people, so maybe that's where the moderation phrase, all those disciplined people out there, they can use that one because they can eat one potato chip. All right, or one M&M or whatever it is. Okay, not to throw out those words, but the Stoic view is that unrestricted indulgence actually enslaves you to cravings, fears, and circumstances. Choosing limitation builds the inner sovereignty that lets you say yes or no from a position of strength. So, if you want to be stronger, when you hear that phrase and your friends say it, everything in moderation, think about if that really works for you. Because for me and for Kathy, we don't like it. It doesn't work. And that's what the science says. And that's what a lot of the philosophies and, oh, last thing I just wanted to say too is that many artists throughout history have, musicians and artists have said that limiting their palette helps them have more freedom. I mean, I'm not saying as eloquently as it did here in the AI chat thing, but try it, because I am feeling excited about the new things I'm going to learn now. There is so much to learn. Just like when I was going into like the standard American diet to the vegan world, now looking at learning more about the raw world, there's a lot more to learn for me, and that's scary, exciting, and I'm limiting the palette, but there's people who have done this who are going to lead the way for me. I know that's a constant fun thing to learn and to grow and to see yourself gain new insights, and it's fun. So anyway, that was our little talk. Love, Kathy and I. Bye bye.